দর্শক আবারও আমন্ত্রণ আন্তর্জাতিক সম্পর্ক উন্নয়ন বিষয়ক আরটিভির বিশেষ অনুষ্ঠান ডিপ্লোম্যাটিক জোনে। কথা বলছিলাম বাংলাদেশে নিযুক্ত মার্কিন যুক্তরাষ্ট্রের আন্তর্জাতিক সাহায্য সংস্থা USAIDর মিশন প্রধান জানিনা জারুজেলস্কির সঙ্গে। ওয়েলকাম এগেইন at RTV studio. Let's talk about climate changes issues again, because you know it is Bangladesh is one of the vulnerable country. How do you make climate change as one of your priority areas?
Well, first, I agree with you completely that Bangladesh is on the absolute cutting edge of climate change. And you look at the geography of Bangladesh, most of the country is only a few feet above sea level. So it's very low-lying. Already, Bangladesh is the most vulnerable to cyclones of any country in the world. It's number 6 in terms of flooding and river erosion. So already Bangladesh faces a lot of challenges. Now with climate change, the predictions are that the sea level will come up, and also that the snow caps on major mountains like the Himalayas will melt, so that the runoff of water down into the rivers, flooding will increase, the sea level will come up. So that obviously Bangladesh with its already has challenges, it's going to face bigger challenges. And still others is to preserve those areas of Bangladesh, particularly wetlands, that are very important for protecting the country from the effects of climate change. So that means primarily the Sundarbans, but also other wetlands like Baikal and some of the few remaining forests like the Lawachara National Forest. All of these things work together to deal with climate change. But it's a big problem, and it's a worldwide problem. We're all facing it together.
USAID works extensively at the commodity level. Would you share your experiences working with people at the local level?
Right. Well, we try very much to work directly with communities and with beneficiaries. And so when I go out on these trips, what I'm mainly doing is meeting with women and other children and other people just in the villages and talking to them about what their needs are, what their experiences are. And what I always find so far is that these people, most of them have very little education, almost none at all in some cases, but that doesn't mean they're stupid. They're smart people. They're smart people who don't have a lot of education, but they're smart and they want to do better. They want to educate their children. They want to help their families, and their courage, really, because a lot of them are living in very difficult circumstances, but they're courageous, they're smart, they're enterprising people, and it's really exciting to work with them, and I like working.
Well, though the Prime Minister of Bangladesh, opposition leader and speaker on the parliament in our country are women.
Yeah.
Do you think it shows women empowerment?
Well, certainly it's very impressive that you have women in these key leadership roles, and that's very unusual. Most countries in the world don't have that. But it doesn't mean, unfortunately, it doesn't mean that life is better or completely equal for most women in the country. These are very elite women with access to resources and very, prestigious positions. But obviously, the majority of women are living a very different life. And what our research and statistics show is that, unfortunately, life is very hard for most women in this country, and that we have very high rates in this country of child marriage, very high rates of domestic violence. Unfortunately, studies have shown that roughly 80% of all women have experienced domestic violence in their life, which clearly should not be the case. Even though the age of marriage is 18, 60 to 70% of women are married before that age. And we just did actually a few days ago, released a study that we did in conjunction with ICDDRB, studying child marriage. And what we found is a lot of people don't even understand what's wrong with it. If you ask them about it, they'll say, yes, it happens. And what's the problem?
You are talking about child marriage.
Right.
What is the USAID's stance on child marriage?
We think it's a bad idea. That's our stance. But I think it's more important to talk about why it's a bad idea. Why it's a bad idea. It's not just because we say so. Early marriage usually ends a girl's education. If she is married at 15, generally she does not go to school after that. So that limits her potential to be educated, to be employed, to contribute to society. Another major reason is that early marriage is very closely tied to early childbirth. Usually people start having children after they get married. And a woman who gives birth at that early age is much more in danger of death, much more in danger of complications in the pregnancy, and also her child is much more in danger. A child born, that is born to a teen mother is literally twice as likely to die in the first year of life as a child
if
is born in 20s.
the mom is not ready for birth, the baby will not come healthy. It is very naturally.
Yes, it's common sense. That's right. But people sometimes don't think about that. Or also the issue of stunting, which is a very big issue here that a lot of people are not aware of. You know, 41% of all Bangladeshi children under the age of 5 are stunted. And what stunting means is not just that one is short, but that one's whole development has been retarded in some way. That means the development of the brain, the cognitive development. So 41%, that's a huge number. And that comes from chronic malnourishment.
Using science and technology to develop people's lives is a principle that defines USAID development work?
Yes, and that's actually something that our administrator, Raj Shah, is very, very interested in, is applying science and tech in all kinds of new ways to try to improve people's lives. So one of the things we're doing, for example, is using mobile phones. Mobile phones are a relatively new technology, but it's one that is spread like wildfire everywhere in the world, including here in Bangladesh. So even people who are relatively low income have a mobile phone. And so we're using that. Bangladeshi partners working with us have developed this biotech crop, brinjal, and now they're working on potatoes and various other things that are biotech. Some people are a little nervous about this because it's new, but the fact is that the science indicates it's safe. There's been a lot of scientific testing of it, and these crops are much more resistant to pests. They don't need as much insecticide on them. They grow bigger. They're very nutritious, and so we're trying to introduce these things to help. So lots of different techniques.
Well, Janina, we are almost end of this program. So any final thoughts want to share with our viewers?
Well, I just want to say that I'm very glad to be here. I feel privileged to be in Bangladesh. I'm expecting to be here for 4 years, and there's a lot that's already been accomplished in development. This is actually, in a lot of ways, a very impressive success story. And so I hope to contribute to improving those statistics and getting Bangladesh a little closer to middle income status. And I'm looking forward to working with everyone and being here for the next 4 years.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Janina, for being with us.
Onek ধন্যবাদ.
Great. Welcome. দর্শক, যুক্তরাষ্ট্র আমাদের ঘনিষ্ঠ বন্ধু। আমাদের দেশের কৃষিখাত, স্বাস্থ্যখাত সহ নারী ইস্যুর মতো গুরুত্বপূর্ণ সেক্টরে কাজ করছে। মিশন প্রধানের কথার সূত্র ধরেই বলতে চাই, ভবিষ্যতে এই উন্নয়ন সহযোগিতার হাত আরও সম্প্রসারিত হবে, সেই প্রত্যাশাই শেষ করছি আজকের ডিপ্লোম্যাটিক জোন। ধন্যবাদ সবাইকে আমাদের সাথে থাকার জন্য।